Dad, why should I marry her? I asked my father, not hiding my boredom. My father angrily replied.
Shut up, you insolent brat. In front of elders, who allows you to speak up? We are indebted to Uncle Andre's family. Our family is as strong as it is today because of Uncle Andre's help. Currently, Uncle Andre's company is on the verge of bankruptcy. How can our family be so ungrateful? Not to mention, Lyra is a kind and beautiful girl. Marrying her is a blessing in your life.
I am a sassy person who always likes to argue. I still argued despite my father's earlier warning. She doesn't like this arranged marriage either. Not to mention, the person who owes Uncle Andre is you, not me. Immediately, I received a slap from my father. He furiously cursed.
The uneducated man. You are living in the rich and happy. Where does it come from? I don't care. This marriage has to happen.
After saying that, my father was about to step forward to slap me again when a girl suddenly stood in front of me to stop my father. She is the Lyra in what my father said earlier. Lyra said to my father.
Please don't hit him anymore. I'm not against this marriage, so he's my husband now.
My father's gaze softened a little, and he said.
Thank you for coming out for it. He lives in the happiness he is used to. He doesn't realize having you is the luckiest thing in the world. I know you don't really want this marriage either, but this is the only way I can help your family. Although I am the owner of the Perez family, I do not have full control over all the property of the Perez family. This marriage is a good reason for the Perez family to pour money into your family's company.
Lyra nodded.
Yes, I know. This is where elders discuss. Me and Miles ask permission to go out.
My father nodded.
Okay. Let's find a place to chat with my son.
As soon as she pulled me out of the door, Lyra turned her bored gaze towards me. She sighed.
Sorry, I don't want to be a commodity to be traded either. But because of my family situation, I ask for your understanding and cooperation. We can live together as a fake couple.
Lyra is a very beautiful girl. Her family's economy has plummeted from the moment she was born, so although the Hall family used to have a great fortune, Lyra has not had a day to live like a rich girl. It was the difficult life from a young age that made a beautiful girl like her form a tough character. However, I have no feelings for her in any way. I don't know why either, but I think it's because I'm a little embarrassed to stand in the same place as her. I'm just a useless loser who only knows how to destroy the family's money. I have a kind of inferiority complex when I'm with a talented, resourceful person like Lyra. It is in the nature of a man to want to protect women, not the other way around. Unfortunately, a spoiled rich guy like me doesn't have this ability. The story has been going on for quite some time now, but perhaps I should take a moment to reintroduce the circumstances. I am Miles Perez, the only son of the owner of the Perez family, Juan Perez. The future wife standing in front of me now is Lyra Hall, the only daughter of the owner of the Hall family, Andre Hall. From the conversation so far, you probably already guessed the situation. The Hall family used to be a powerful entertainment industry, acquiring many A-list superstars. When they were famous nationwide, the Perez family was just a small family. However, my father was not originally a person who liked to settle down. He decided to follow the path of real estate, which was not very promising at that time. The Perez family did not support his decision, on the contrary, vehemently ridiculed his intention. At that time, only one person stood up to support his decision, which was Andre Hall. Uncle Andre has been my father's best friend since elementary school. The Hall family established an entertainment company long before Uncle Andre took over, so basically, when my father was still struggling, Uncle Andre was already a real giant. But Uncle Andre did not appear arrogant, on the contrary, he did not hesitate to help my father almost unconditionally. Uncle Andre not only lent my father some money to start a business, but also took advantage of his relationship from the entertainment industry to continuously promote my father's company. Originally a progressive person, plus the help of a close friend, soon my father's company became a big man in the real estate industry. But the unpredictable situation, the entertainment industry in recent years has appeared too many prominent names. Plus, to be honest, the entertainment industry is not a clean business. Although Uncle Andre was good at management, he lacked a kind of mind, so in the end, the entertainment company of the Hall family was soon crushed by new companies. Faced with the prospect of defaulting on Uncle Andre's debt, of course, my father could not stand by and watch. He must at all costs help his best friend who stood by him during difficult times. Although my father returned all the money that Uncle Andre lent him and Uncle Andre never once asked my father to do anything, but my father always thought that he owed Uncle Andre a huge amount of kindness. The difficulty is that, at first, when my father wanted to leave the family to set up a company, no one supported, on the contrary, they mocked and ridiculed. By the time of success, the whole family is torn apart. My father is not the eldest son in the family, he also does not want to have conflicts with the family, so he has to accept to cede power and shares in his company. As the founder of the company, which is currently the foundation for the entire Perez family, my father is allowed to hold the position of the owner of the Perez family. But in fact, all decisions related to Perez's property are not something he can decide on his own. Therefore, he devised a plan to marry with Uncle Andre's family, taking his only son to marry Uncle Andre's only daughter. Once we were married, representing the problem of the Hall family as well as the problem of the Perez family, my father could indirectly help Uncle Andre. Although Uncle Andre did not agree with this idea, after thinking it through, he had to sigh to accept it. I know that, although Lyra doesn't hate me, she doesn't like me either. She needs someone who can be there to help her, not a burden like me. With her, rich man like me is not proud. It's not my money either. But at that time, I really didn't want to strive. My parents pampered me very much, although my father scolded me countless times, money always provided enough for me to spend. Having someone to support me, I don't want to try to do anything. I said to Lyra. Okay. I accept to stay with you for a while. Once your family recovers economically, we can divorce peacefully. Lyra nodded.
That's what I want too.
I said. Then you go your way, I go mine. After saying that, I walked out of the house, leaving Lyra standing there. Compared to chatting with someone I don't know at all, it's better to go meet my friends. I made an appointment to meet my friends at a nearby bar. Sitting with me is currently a man and a woman, Thatcher and Lola. They are also rich children, belonging to an association that likes to compete and dress up like me. The two of them are also a couple. I consider them best friends, I tell them everything, so they know that I am going to marry Lyra. Thatcher patted me on the back.
Nothing to worry about. Your fiancée is pretty too.
I waved my hand. Come on. I don't want to have a relationship with her. Lola smiled and said.
That's right. How can young master of the Perez family match with a poor girl? Even though she's beautiful, her whole life's effort is not as rich as mine.
I didn't say anything. I couldn't tell them that I didn't want to have a relationship with Lyra, not because I looked down on her, on the contrary, I felt I was inferior to her. Thatcher continued.
Let's go to the beach tomorrow. In the near future, Miles won't have the opportunity to go with us anymore.
Lola said.
Okay. That's decided.
After having a drunken meal with the two of them, I returned home to prepare my things. Uncle Andre and Lyra returned home. Seeing me packing my bags, my father asked.
Where are you going again?
I replied. I'm going out with my friends. I've accepted to do as you say, don't forbid me in this little matter. My father handed me another credit card.
I didn't forbid you, I was a bit short-tempered this morning, sorry. But this time, please promise me one thing, take Lyra with you. She's had a hard time since she was a child. Let her relieve her fatigue a bit.
I certainly don't want to, but I don't resist either. Well, it's okay to bring her along, we'll live together anyway, sooner or later. I agreed with my father, putting the credit card in my wallet. The next morning, Lyra and I were both standing at the harbor, waiting for Thatcher and Lola's private yacht. We have agreed to hang out on a famous tourist island. Not long after, Thatcher's group showed up. They weren't very happy to see me taking Lyra along, but I pretended not to notice it. As soon as we got on the yacht, the TV broadcast a news.
Emergency! A big storm suddenly made landfall in the waters of V country. We recommend that everyone stop all activities at sea, waiting for the next news.
I said. What do you think? Thatcher replied.
Never mind, everything is already prepared, why give up? The forecast isn't always right, but even if it is, we'll probably be unlucky enough to get into trouble.
I think it is also true that our trip is still not delayed. Only Lyra has a worried face, but she still follows us because she can't go back now either. We were quite far from the harbor, but the sea was still very peaceful. This made Lyra's mood also relax a bit. But, don't count your chickens before they hatch. Moving a bit more, our yacht accidentally entered the big storm area. The strong waves caused the yacht to wobble violently. The four of us were all pale from worrying about our own safety. We rushed to the inside of the yacht. At this moment, a wave suddenly crashed against the side of the boat. Because I was a rich boy who only knew how to spend money, my body was extremely thin. I suddenly lost my balance and was blown off the yacht by the wind. Thankfully, in my panic, one hand was still clinging to the railing of the yacht. However, my situation right now is not much better. A skinny guy like me when the yacht is running stably doesn't even have the strength to climb back into the yacht from the railing, let alone the strong wind at this time. I gave my two friends an imploring look, but my response was just indifference. There is a cold feeling in my heart. That's right, in a moment of life and death, who wants to risk their life to save someone else? That said, I was still very disappointed, the prospect of a close friendship between the three of them collapsing right before my eyes. However, there was one thing I was wrong. At the moment I was in danger, there was still someone who risked their lives rushing towards me, that was Lyra. Despite the danger, she turned her head towards me. Just when I was about to give up my life, I was surprised by Lyra's actions. Why did she do that? We did not have a close relationship. Even to me, the two people I once thought were best friends were closer than this future wife. In my heart suddenly had affection for her, although small, but truly exist. But life is not easy. No matter how hard Lyra tries, she can't reach me. Faced with that situation, Lyra daringly stooped over the railing. As soon as her hand grasped mine, another strong wind blew and swept both her and me into the sea, with 2 suitcases of luggage. Right after that, I no longer knew what happened.